Hello everyone and welcome to this 15-minute review. This is going to be on chapters 2, 3, and 4 of the Biology 111 textbook. So first we're going to start off with atoms. They are what make up everything: solids, liquids, gases. So over here we have the nucleus, and it is made from protons and neutrons. On the outside we have these rings, and on these rings we have these blue balls, which are electrons. Atoms are what make elements. Elements are the purest substances, and they cannot be broken down any further. We have compounds. These are when two different elements are joined together by different types of combinations. We will go more in depth on them in different slides. We have the elements that are essential to life. So they're all the purple and green highlighted ones. The ones that we will deal with the most with in biology are going to be hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. We have atomic mass and atomic number. Atomic number. So if we zoom in on this fluorine, on this iron right here, we notice that there's this big 26. So this is the atomic number. This tells you how many protons you have and how many electrons. And then right under the word iron, we have this number, 55.8. This is the atomic mass. This tells you how many protons and neutrons you have. To calculate how many neutrons you have, you will take the atomic mass and you will subtract it from the atomic number. So we have different isotopes of different elements. If we notice over here, we have carbon, but the protons stay the same. The difference is in the number of neutrons. So we have carbon 12, which has 6 neutrons, carbon 13, which has 7 neutrons, and then carbon 14, which has 8 neutrons. Carbon 14 is radioactive and it decays. The reason is because the number of neutrons it has, and some uses for carbon 14 are carbon 14 dating for like fossils. For electrons, so electrons can gain and lose energy, and we know and electrons on farther rings from the nucleus have more energy, and the reason is due because protons are positively charged while electrons are negatively charged, and so they attract. And so to get them farther away from each other, or to get the electrons to a farther ring, it takes energy. And so when it is on that farther shell, it has more energy. Valence electron shells. So over here we notice that as we move from left to right on the periodic table, our valence electrons are increasing. So and we notice that after when we go from helium to lithium, the first shell can only hold 2 electrons, but then when we go from lithium to neon, the second shell can hold 8 electrons, and the same thing when we go from sodium to argon. The third shell can also hold 8 electrons. And valence electrons are what give elements that are in the same row the same properties, like being reactive. Lithium and sodium are pretty reactive, and that is due to the valence, the one valence electron they have. They want to give it away. And same thing with fluorine and chlorine, but instead of wanting to give away a valence electron, they actually want to pull one in. So now we're going to talk about the different types of bonds. So we have covalent bonds, which are with 2 different nonmetals, or the same nonmetal bonded to itself. An example of this is fluorine. So we see that 2 fluorines are covalently bonded to each other, and covalent bonds are where electrons are being shared. We have ionic bonds. These are where electrons are given from a metal to a nonmetal. And an example of this is sodium chloride, which is table salt. The valence electron from sodium is given to the chlorine. Chemical reactions, they happen between two compounds or two elements. They can happen between one element and a compound. These are important because they drive a lot of the reactions that happen in our environment, even in our bodies. The reactants, which are on the left, get broken. Their chemical structure gets broken apart, and they make the products right here on the right. Hydrogen bonding is a very important thing. It is what gives water a lot of its properties. We notice over here that we have this red, which is the oxygen, and then these two white tops are the two hydrogens. The reason why it is in this shape is because there are two electron pairs, and they have stronger energy than the hydrogen. And so what it will do is it will push the two hydrogens toward each other, and so it will give it that shape. The hydrogen end will be partially positive, while the electron end will be partially negative. As we said, in water, a lot of its properties are due to hydrogen bonding. Some of these properties are high boiling point, high vaporization pressure, high viscosity. So we have acids, bases, and buffers. So acids and bases are made by combining two water molecules. It makes a hydronium, and it makes a hydroxide. An important note to know is that hydronium and hydrogen are the same thing. So these can be used interchangeably. So some can say we have hydronium concentration, or they can say concentration of hydrogen ions. pH is the measure of how much hydrogen or hydronium ions we have. As pH goes down, it's more acidic. As pH goes up, it's more basic. An important example of this in our ecosystem, where life is in the ocean. So we have atmospheric carbon dioxide, which can happen from cars or manufacturing plants. And what will happen is the carbon dioxide will fall into the water. It will dissolve, and it will react with the water in the ocean. This will make carbonic acid, and then carbonic acid will break apart into bicarbonate ion and hydrogen ions. And then over here we have calcium carbonate, which makes shells and coral skeletons. This can be broken down into calcium ions and carbonate ions. And depending on how much hydrogen ions we have in the water, more calcium carbonate can break apart to make bicarbonate ions. And so this is very important because if we have more hydrogen ions in the water, then we will have more calcium carbonate break apart, which means that we can have less shells and coral skeletons, which can damage that ecosystem.